what we can state right now is that research is still divided on the topic. So some researchers are concerned that the job loss will be very heavy in some occupations, and other researchers say that this technical revolution is has the same impact on society as former technological revolutions, and that in the end there will be more jobs created just in other occupations, but there will not be a big job loss. There was a study on the impact of the introduction of robot labor on the labor market in 17 countries, done by 2 researchers, and they found that there are no effects on employment overall, just that some of the low-skilled people might be crowded out, but in general wages were rising and there was no bigger impact on employment. And the other study found out something quite different, although it was for the same period of time, just for the US labor market, and they found that the introduction of robots is actually decreasing wages and is actually decreasing the number of workers. Research is also a little bit divided on this issue. There are some research holding that it's only for most low-skilled positions that will be threatened by automation. But there are also researchers that say that even middle-skilled professions where there are repetitive tasks, as you now said, will be threatened by automation. For example, strictly legal-based, strictly rule-based tasks as an accountant or lawyers in different fields might also be automated away in the mid or long term, because artificial intelligence is making increasingly inroads into this spheres as well, some research hold. The human society has a choice to make in which way automation will influence society, and therefore it is policymakers' responsibility to be able to anticipate changes, right? And it's difficult for them because we have different arguments from academia where automation will go. But at least there should be ready concepts, developed concepts in case one of the situation, for example, job loss for low-skilled people and even some mid-skilled people will occur. Then there should be policies in place to support these people that lose their jobs, or to give them new opportunities. And one of them is, of course, the universal basic income, which is widely discussed. There are already some countries which doing test trials with these income models, and I think the DOC is in a good position to follow these events and try to find solutions and see if there are practical solutions. And then there are, of course, other possible policies one could engage with. Recently I was doing research mostly in connection to the introduction of a robot labor force, but as the field is quite complex, I also take into account the impact of artificial intelligence on the future labor market. I think one thing we know for sure is that the requirements for education will be rising, and that due to the fact that automation is developing at a very fast pace, so will also the requirements for the future employees rise at a very fast pace. For this reason, the educational system has to be adopted. Children and people, they have to be able to understand information technology, understand computers and how they work. Everybody has a basic understanding of what it means to work with computers and to work with information technology. And especially people that worked for a longer time in a job, they need constant retraining to be able to answer to the technological changes that will definitely occur. And therefore also governments need to reconsider the educational system and put more finance in it. I think one important thing is that we should know that technological change is not something that is just overwhelming us. We can make an active choice. We can, for example, choose if automation is designed in a way that replaces human workforce or complements them. And of course, the latter would be, I think, a more viable solution for governments to consider.